Hello, and welcome to the fourth episode of Rewatch Reaction. Today I'm going to be reviewing the episode 1 of season 3 of The Mandalorian. And I'm going to tell you, right off the bat, I do miss The Mandalorian. I really liked seasons 1 and 2. Season 2 was really good. When he was in Boba Fett, I thought that was awesome too. Yes, he might have been in it a lot, and it kind of turned into a partial season 3 of The Mandalorian, even though it was supposed to be a Boba Fett series. The title of the episode is The Apostate, and that's because the entire theme of the episode is redemption. Redemption for Mando, Din Djarin. To do that, he's got to go to Mandalore. I don't really understand why he needs to be redeemed, personally. I understand why the character feels like he needs to be redeemed because of his life and who he views as a family or as a tribe. But story wise, I don't really like it. It doesn't really flow with what we had in seasons 1 and 2. The way the episode begins, it builds up to like a ceremony or like a baptism for Mandalorians. And then we're broken out of that into this sudden action scene. And like I said, the whole episode is about redemption. And that's why Din Djarin has come back, Mando. It's because he wants to let them know that he's willing and wanting to go back to Mandalore to see if he can even be redeemed. After this, he returns back to Navarro, and I don't know, the whole planet is different, at least the town. It's like a cross between Tatooine and Naboo, if that makes any sense. But when he gets there, of course, he gets offered different things because he's got friends there now. He gets offered land so that he and Grogu can settle down. And of course, he swipes it away because he wants that redemption. Next, we get to see what the town is dealing with. Pirates. And of course, what would you expect from a space western except for a duel in the middle of the town? But the main reason that he's returned to Navarro is because he wants the IG unit from the end of season 1, the one that sacrificed his life to save everyone. It's the only droid that he trusts to take with him back to Mandalore. And then we're interrupted yet again by more action. The pirates from a couple scenes before, the ones with the duel, have now decided that they're going to be after Mando. At that point, we get introduced to the pirate boss. And honestly, he looks like a weird cross between Davy Jones and the Swamp Thing. Before Mando gets away, he threatens him, which I'm sure is just another setup for something later in the season. The last big scene is Mando goes back to a world in the Mandalore system. And specifically, he goes to a Mandalorian castle to see no other than Bo-Katan, because he's wanting to join them and retake Mandalore. And of course, what does she want? She wants the Darksaber. And she's really kind of butthurt that she doesn't have it. And I guess the rest of her people are too, because they've abandoned her. Either way, Din Djarin tells her that he's going to return to Mandalore and that he wants to be redeemed. And of course, she thinks he's a fool. To me, this episode felt like a filler episode that should be like in the middle of a season. It didn't feel like a first episode, the first introduction to a new season of TV. Really, what should have been the introduction was, well, something that we saw in Boba Fett. It was something cool, it was something different, and it was something action-packed, but it made sense for the story. This makes sense for the story, but we kind of feel like we're dropped in the middle of something, and to me, it felt a little boring. Yes, there was action, which spiced things up, but sometimes it just felt out of place. I would have liked to invest in more story, more character development, and actually, I don't know, spend time with the characters. It just felt like we were going from one place to the other just so Din Djarin could tell people that he needed to redeem himself and that he was going to go back to Mandalore. And that's what the whole episode was about. So anyway, that's how I felt about the episode. Please join me in other reactions and rewatches of previous episodes of other shows and for future episodes. Thank you very much.